Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Sub back in the video, and today I'm going to be giving my Houston Astros predictions for the 2024 season. And you can't start off a prediction video without starting it off by predicting the Houston Astros opening day roster, because that has not come out yet, and it doesn't come out till 11 a.m. tomorrow, which is opening day Thursday, March 28th. So if we're going to be predicting how the Astros do this year, what we see from them, what we see from their players, we got to predict who those players are going to be starting off the big game in the first day of the season in 2024. Let's get into my predictions for the opening day roster. So it's pretty basic. I mean, it's not like there are any guys that, there's nobody that, there's no surprises. I don't think there are going to be any surprises in this list that are going to surprise anybody. Your catchers, Yanner Diaz and Victor Cartini. There's not going to be a third catcher. Cesar Salazar is not making the roster. Those are the two catchers. First baseman, Jose Abreu. Second baseman, Jose Altuve. Shortstop, Jeremy Pena. Third baseman, Alex Bregman. Your outfielders, Chas McCormick, Jake Myers, Kyle Tucker. Your designated hitter, Jordan Alvarez. And your bench or utility guys, Mauricio Dubon, Greg Kessinger, John Singleton. Starting pitchers, you have Justin Verlander and Jose Urquidy on the IL. Keep in mind, you'll also have guys like Luis Garcia and Lance McCullers Jr. still injured. So we have Framber Valdez, who is starting the first game of the season for the Astros tomorrow. Also, Christian Javier, Hunter Brown, J.P. France, and Ronald Blanco, who just had an outstanding start against the Space Cowboys yesterday with 10 strikeouts in 4 innings. Then your relief pitchers, the bullpen. Josh Hader is your closer. Ryan Presley is your setup man. Rafael Montero, Bennett Sowosa, Brandon Bielak, Seth Martinez, and Parker Mashensky. If you were wondering, where is Brandon Abreu? Brandon Abreu is suspended for the first 2 games of the season. So, start off the year, it's going to be 25 available guys for the Astros. Brandon Abreu will be available on Saturday. He's suspended for the first 2 games. So, Saturday against the New York Yankees, you need Brandon Abreu in the 7th inning, maybe the 6th inning. He will be available to use, but he is not available to use Thursday, tomorrow, in the first game of this series, or Friday. So keep that in mind. So those are my predictions for the opening day roster. Now let's get into predictions on how this team does. First, I want to start by predicting if this team wins the AL West or not. Yes, I have the Houston Astros winning the AL West. I think the Rangers, they're falling down, man. I think the Rangers right now, they've made some solid additions this offseason, but I think they were really expected to have a big offseason, and they didn't have it. And one thing is I know they brought in some starting pitchers, but, they're without Max Scherzer to start the season. They're without Jacob deGrom to start the season. DeGrom's going to be out till August. Scherzer's going to be out till June or something. So I think the Rangers are going to get off to a slow start. I'm not going to say it's a one-year wonder for the Rangers, and we're going to see them suck this year again. But I think the Rangers, they'll be a playoff team. They'll be a good team. But I think it might take them a little bit to get it going just because of the injuries. That's what I'm thinking. I think the Rangers might have a type of year that the Astros had. And especially the funny scenario is because the Rangers, what the Rangers and Astros have in common here is that the Astros, they were coming off winning a World Series as well when the injuries hit for them. So I'm not going to, as much as I hate the Rangers, I'm not going to wish injuries upon them, but that's what I'm feeling from them to start off the year, that it might be, they might have a good roster, but they might have injury problems. I hope we don't have that, but that's just what I'm feeling so far with Max Scherzer and Jacob deGrom out so far early and not going to be back for a while. I mean, he's kind of like with the Astros not having Jose Altuve to start the season last year. But, as much as I dislike a team, I'm not going to wish injuries upon them. But I think the Astros win the AL West. I think they get off to a hot start. But at the same time, I'm looking at their schedule. I really could see them getting off to a bad start throughout the season. We've never really seen the Astros get off to good starts this season, throughout the season. Since 2021, the Astros have gotten to slow starts. Like, if you look at the first 20 games for the Houston Astros in the last, 4 seasons, 2021, 2022, and 2023, last 3 seasons, the Houston Astros have not had a plus 500 or even a 500 record in the last 3 seasons in the first 20 games. The Houston Astros have had a negative or a minus 500 record in the first 20 games of the last 3 seasons. I hope that changes. I hope the Astros can get off to a better start. But the thing alarms me is that the Astros have a hard schedule to start the year. The Houston Astros' first 5 series of the year consist of the Yankees, a 4-game series, the Blue Jays, a 3-game series. Then you have the Royals for a 3-game series. That's not that hard. But then it gets hard again. 4-game series against Texas, or maybe it's a 3-game series. I'm not sure. And then a 3-game series against the Braves. So that's a hard start right there. I mean, that's what you got: 4 against the Yankees, 3 against the Blue Jays, and 3 against the Royals. So that's 10, and then 3 or 4 against the Rangers, 13 or 14. That's like first 16 or 17 games of the season. That's a hard way to start off the year. And knowing how the Astros have struggled to start the last couple seasons, it just alarms me that the Astros might get off to a slow start. But I think it might be otherwise this year. I think this might be the Astros' year where they get off to a fast start throughout the season. But I hope I'm wrong about the last 3 seasons, how it's been bad for the Astros, and now I hope I'm wrong about how they might get off to a bad start. But definitely is a hard schedule to start the season, is what I'm noting. But getting into how this team plays, I think they win the division. I think they go over 95 wins. I very well could see them going to as far as 97 to 102 wins potentially. I just think I think the big matter is how healthy does this team stay? Can Altuve, Jordan, Verlander stay healthy? Can you get guys like Jose Urquidy and Luis Garcia and Lance McCullers back on time? So I think that those are the main things that that matter when talking about how well this team plays, and how many wins they get and how far they go. But predictions for players wise, I think Jordan Alvarez, talking about an MVP of the team, I think the MVP of the team this year will be Jordan Alvarez. In fact, I have him as the MVP of the league. I think Jordan Alvarez wins MVP this year if he stays healthy. But I think some guys that are potential breakout years for the Astros, I think guys like Jake Myers and Yanner Diaz and Hunter Brown, I think they're going to have big years for the Houston Astros this season. And another guy, I know it's not, he's already a star player, so it wouldn't be a breakout year. But on a contract year, I think Alex Bregman's going to have a big year for the Houston Astros. And I think him moving to the 4 spot versus to what he's been the 2 or the 3 in the past is a great spot for Breggy as well, because, I really like, you have Altuve, Jordan, and Tucker at the first 3. Those are the strongest 3 guys in the lineup. I mean, let's just say to start off the game, the Astros get red hot. Let's say Altuve gets a single, and then Jordan gets a single, and Kyle Tucker gets a walk, and it's the bases loaded, to start the game, which is it's a wild prediction, right? Then you have a guy like Alex Bregman up at the plate with the bases loaded, and we know how dominant he's been with the bases loaded in his career. He's the Astros' most patient hitter, so he's the most on the team. He's the most patient hitter. He's also has a great record or track record with the bases loaded. And honestly, I'm not saying you're going to see the Astros a lot start off the game. Altuve, Alvarez, and Tucker all get on, and then Bregman has the bases loaded. But I do think Bregman might have more opportunities at that 4 spot with the bases with opportunities for the bases loaded than he would in the past. And Bregman has been really good with the bases loaded. And another thing, let's say to start off the game, Altuve or Alvarez, they go out, and then you got Tucker up, or just the start of the inning, and Tucker has, Tucker's the first batter of the inning. Let's say Tucker gets on first with a single or a walk. He's been hit by pitch, whatever. He just gets the first. Tucker is great at stealing, and this was talked about by Joe Espada, how one of the good things is that if Tucker steals and gets the second, then you have Bregman, the most patient hitter on the team, and Tucker at second base, and Bregman has a chance to knock him in. So I think you're going to see this a lot throughout the season. Watch out for this one, and when you hear me say this, remember when it happens that I said this. You're gonna see Tucker at first, and Bregman's gonna be up, and Tucker's gonna steal to try to get Bregman. So Bregman has someone in scoring position. I think you're gonna see that a lot throughout the season. I think Tucker's gonna be very aggressive on stealing to second when Bregman is at the plate. I think you're gonna see that a lot. But getting into more predictions, like I said, I think Bregman has a big year. I think Jake Myers and Hunter Brown and Yainer Diaz have big years. I'm not going to say this player has a big year, but I think this player has a way better year than he had last year. We saw this player really struggle in the second half. You might think I'm talking about Framber Valdez, but I'm actually talking about Jeremy Pena. He could not get out of the ballpark. He hit a home run on like June 26th or June 25th or something like that, and he didn't hit a home run the rest of the season, including the postseason. So I think Jeremy Pena has a way better season than he did last year. And I'm really hoping to see him, do a lot better than he has done in the past. That's really it for my predictions. I think getting to the Astros in the playoffs. How far do they make? I don't know if the Astros win the World Series, but I have the Houston Astros representing the American League in the World Series this year. I think they make it to the World Series. I really don't know if they win or if they don't, but I think the Houston Astros are World Series bound this year. Let me know your thoughts on the Houston Astros and your predictions for this team this season. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out. Go Astros.